Well, correspondent Amritpal Singh has been following this story closely. He joins us now with an update. Amrit, what options has the U.S. Defence Secretary laid out for Iran?
Well, I think the U.S. Defense Secretary and both the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the top general of the U.S. forces, reiterated primarily what President Trump said after the operation, saying that, Iran hadn't halted its nuclear program. Enough time was given to it. It was stonewalling it's more stonewalling efforts of the international community to halt its nuclear program and not make a bomb out of its uranium enrichment program. But Iran did not listen, and therefore direct military action by the U.S. Was required to obliterate their nuclear enrichment program and their capacities and capabilities. And the U.S. believes, though they said that it's an ongoing investigation, but they believe that they've caused severe damage and destruction to the Iranian capabilities, that it cannot return back to its program, or their capabilities have been severely damaged. Now, what options, you ask, has they laid for Iran? It's basically told Iran to get back to the negotiating table. They said the exact words used by the general was that it will be a poor choice by Iran to retaliate, hit American assets if they are planning to do so. So essentially reiterating what President Trump said, threatening Iran that if they hit back at the Americans, if there is any retaliation or retribution to what happened last night in an operation which they called Midnight Hammer, there will be consequences for Iran. They're saying our assets are still flying in the air, assets are still deployed, and they will take suitable action, putting out a naked threat to Iran that Iran will bear military consequences if it attacks American assets or facilities. Mark.
Right. Amrit, also, were any of the U.S. allies involved, or, their land involved, or will, they be involved in any future retaliations?
He was asked that question, but the general obfuscated this answer to this question. He said that we used all capabilities of ours. All capabilities deployed were ours. He said there was some information sharing with the allies. Consultations were wherever they were required were taken, but he said all capabilities were ours. That means that they are claiming that the operation was entirely American, which they're calling Midnight Hammer, which started at 2:10 last night Iranian time. And they said, it was their B-2 bombers using GBU-15, penetration cluster bombs, or what are called bunker busters, to destroy the three Iranian nuclear uranium enrichment facilities.
A final question, Amrit, about whether this is a protracted kind of a war, or is it just going to end very quickly, and what were the motives in terms of, whether there was regime change on the agenda? Because, I think Pete Hegseth was asked to concerns about veterans worried about the war going on for a long time.
Yes, Pete Hegseth made it very clear that regime change is not on the agenda. That was not the purpose of the bombing. The purpose of the bombing was to cause destruction to the nuclear program of the Iranians, which they believe they have caused, and caused it much damage and destruction. The words are different. Remember, Donald Trump in the mornings, Indian morning I'm talking, says, when he pushed out that statement, he said they have completely obliterated Iranian capacities. Now they are saying, the general was saying, the damage assessment is ongoing. They will exactly know how much damage they've caused. But Pete Hegseth is saying that he believes much destruction and damage has been caused to the three Iranian sites. But Pete Hegseth was very clear that regime change was not the objective of this exercise. Whether it will be an ongoing operation or not, according to the Americans, they have done what they have done, and they believe that Iran should return back to the negotiating table. Now the ball really is in the Iranian court. They are issuing veiled threats, actually naked threats, very bare threats to the Iranians, that if you retaliate, If there is retribution from your side, this will carry on. If you want to come back to the table, join the negotiations.
We'll leave it there. Amritpal Singh, thank you very much for joining us.